Okay, so I think we will kick off now. It looks like everybody who should have joined is now with us. So now, once again, thank you everyone for joining us today. This is one of the first of many, hopefully, Esendex masterclasses. Today, we're going to be focusing on an upcoming event that you may have heard of, and that is Black Friday. So we're going to be giving you a bit of insight into Black Friday, how that has emerged over the last few years. Obviously, we cannot ignore COVID-19, so some of the trends that have emerged during COVID-19 and how they're really going to shape Black Friday, and also digital communications that will take place further that. So discussing that, giving you a few bits of information from previous success stories of customers who've taken our studio proposition and really added value to their outbound SMS campaigns, giving a slight nod to future-proofing your communication strategies, because the landing page studio offering is that first step to some of the new richer technology that's out there. And then I'll be handing over to my colleague Alex Mills, who is one of our most creative account managers. Some of you may have had the pleasure of working with Alex. I know a few of his customers are on today. So Alex will be showcasing how to get the most out of our studio product, giving you a demonstration on creating those great landing pages. And then there'll be a bit of time at the end to go through any questions that people may have. So hopefully you'll all have access to type in any. If there's anything that either myself or Alex mentions today, then please feel free to drop those questions and we'll answer at the end. We will also be recording this webinar, and it will be available for people as a resource after. And for those of you who have passed us a mobile number, then we'll also send you a landing page so you can see, just how great these look and give you a few ideas for future campaigns. So to kick off then, Black Friday. It's one of those things that in the UK is probably only a recent phenomenon, but actually when you look back through the history, this is something that's come across the pond from our friends in America and has been going on for a long time now. The first Black Friday was actually traced back to 1961, and it is typically the busiest shopping day of the year in the United States. That's certainly been the case since 2005. And in the UK, it was really, as I mentioned, a recent phenomenon. In the 2010s, it started to come to light, and I think 2014 being that first big breakthrough year. I think some of you may have seen some stories on the news when that first came out, but luckily it's now a much better affair for everyone. And if you look at the stats that we're showing on the slide deck, it shows just how big this is for the UK retail market. Last year, we estimated that there was just shy of £9 billion spent on Black Friday alone, and it's just going to go bigger and bigger. I think, with everything that's happened this year, it was already projecting to be a lot bigger than previous years, but as Barclaycard report there, a 7.2% increase in the overall volume and 16.2% increase in transaction volume. So, all of these stats just show that it is going to be massive and probably, a real important day for the UK retailers, but none more so than in 2020. And in terms of how this is a digital thing, well, it's largely done on mobiles these days. So, 73% of all online traffic was via mobiles last year. That's a phenomenally high stat. And also when you think about it, that, over half of all orders were completed online, it just shows how having that effective mobile first marketing campaigns is going to reach through to your audience, you know. And when you power that with 7%, 7 times all orders over SMS versus single email campaigns, then, you know, targeting people on their mobile devices really is going to get you the most amount of orders. So it would be something that we couldn't avoid, and that's talking about COVID-19. You know, unfortunately, when we was planning on starting to do this masterclass, we was not in lockdown. Obviously, we're now back into our second national lockdown. So this is meaning that for retailers, they're having to shift all of their plans to e-commerce. They cannot go down that route of trying to entice people into stores, because unfortunately, non-essential shops are no longer allowed to be open during the lockdown. But it's just giving that greater importance to having that mobile first strategy. And even before lockdown, if you look back in June, there was going to be nearly a 40% year-on-year growth, despite the stores being open. But what we're seeing is that there's these other trends that have emerged since COVID-19. So, you know, 55% of UK businesses would have been running their campaigns either as originally planned or with further investment, and that's from research we've done by working with our own retail partners, and we can see that that would significantly ramp up given the recent changes. 46% of people now are using their smartphones more now than before the pandemic. Unfortunately, one of the things, as we're all stuck inside our houses, for most people will know that their own phone use at times can be quite high. But, you know, while we're stuck in a house and people have those devices glued to their hands, I imagine that stat is probably significantly higher for a number of other people within the UK. So, you know, you've got a captive audience. People have got those devices constantly looking at it, and some people, they've not got much else to do other than speak to friends, look on websites, etc. So, you know, it's there. And then another trend that we've seen emerging during lockdown, and I think it's a really, really good idea, is to support local businesses. I think one of the big changes I've seen on TV ads in recent times has been the Google adverts. I think Anthony Joshua and a few other people really getting behind that incentive to push local businesses during these challenging times. So, you know, there's a great opportunity for, you know, smaller SME businesses to try and promote themselves using, you know, initiatives like Black Friday to get out there and hopefully have a far more receptive audience of people wanting to support those smaller businesses than potentially some of the larger organisations that they would have previously dealt with before. So, you know, they're just a few of the trends that we've seen as we're heading in towards Black Friday. So, you know, how can you prepare for a digital Black Friday? Well, you know, despite the obvious challenges, you know, 8% of consumers, according to Marketing Week, think that companies should cut their advertising budget. And, you know, for most, this is going to be such a, you know, as I've mentioned, a big event for them, that actually there's going to be the opposite way, where people are throwing more behind their advertising budget. People are going to be spending more because they know the impact that getting great digital strategies out there can have for their business. So, you know, from our perspective, where we see how it's worked in the past and the success that we see our customers having now, you know, some of these stats may be familiar with you, but SMS, you know, is a great tool for providing that. And, you know, we've done some recent research again, and those stats of open rates are still ringing true. So, you know, 95% of average open rate for all messages that get received. I don't know any other channel that is going to get you that type of responses. And 90% of all text messages read within those 3 minutes. Typically, if I'm talking to customers in the good old days when we could go out and speak on site, you would always see mobile phones on desks in pockets. They're never far from us, and you get those notifications come through. So again, it's the only channel where you're going to get a high percentage of your customer base reading those messages within a short period of time. We're seeing that SMS campaigns that do have links that click through, which, these landing pages that the Studio product works with, are getting, as high as 32% on an average performance. We see that being considerably higher for some industries, but it's certainly going to get you a much higher click-through rate than other channels such as emails. And with emails, you're going to get 35% more likely to see a brand's SMS than their email. And one thing I'd welcome everybody who's on the webinar to do today, and it's something I normally do when I'm out speaking to customers in the person, is just say now, have a look at your actual native messaging inbox and have a look at that. Now, most of my friends converse with me via rich channels like WhatsApp and Messenger and things like that. So I have what I would consider to be quite a clean messaging inbox. And when I go onto my text, the only things that I see are all the businesses that are either sending me marketing messages or I've transacted with in recent times. So, that's having 35% more likely to see an SMS than email certainly rings true for me. If I go onto my Hotmail, I've probably got about 200,000 unread emails where I didn't go through. So, all of these factors in together just mean that having that digital Black Friday approach is going to be far more beneficial than some of the other channels that you can try and reach out to. And by adding in the actual landing page proposition that Alex will talk you through, will really add those SMS campaigns to be even more powerful than what it is now. But don't just take my word for it. We've had some proven success with customers that have historically used this. So again, thinking of those SMEs that we work with, we had a furniture company that started using landing pages, and hopefully you can see that example on the screen now of where they just wanted to take that traditional black and white text message and make it far more appealing by adding in their logos, some images of the products that they're promoting, those call to action buttons. And they doubled sales figures and increased footfall to their store compared to previous ones. And one of my favorites is a local pizza franchise that it got that big that they had to pretty much stop taking orders because they had a 30% increase in sales compared to previous SMS campaigns. And if you think, I'm sure everyone's had a text from a well-known pizza offering place, you just get that black and white text message, but having their nice visual with the actual pizza and the call to action buttons giving you that seamless link into actually ordering, just made for the hungry, lazy human being an even easier transaction to get that pizza down them. So, these are just a few great examples of how landing pages have been really adding value to our customers. And it's also worth saying that for our landing page proposition, that it is the first step towards future-proofing all of your digital communication. So, because some of you have been customers and maybe attended one of our Esendex live events before, you would have heard and seen us talking about RCS, and obviously WhatsApp is now open to B2C communications. And if you think about when you send messages to your peers, to your friends, loved ones, etc., using those channels, you have the ability to send images, videos, voice notes, you name it. And we're now entering an age where brands are starting to be able to add more to their communications by having these richer content. And our studio platform that Alex is shortly going to take you through is that first step towards those richer contents. But the great thing about the studio and the landing pages is it's the only one that at this stage will give you that 100% reach rate. And whilst, as you can see on the lovely animation, things like RTS and WhatsApp, in theory, can add a lot more value. At the minute, they don't quite have that 100% reach. So, you know, as I said, this is a great step to future-proofing your future communications by doing lots more cool, rich content stuff. So, without further ado, what I'm going to do is just hand you over to my colleague, Mr. Mills, and he's going to talk you through how you can get the most out of using Studio, and first and foremost, what actually the Studio product is. So, over to you, Alex.
Thank you, Adam, and all really good points there. Welcome everybody to today's call. Just to first and foremost give you a very quick overview in terms of the platform itself. It's a really simple, user-friendly platform, all web optimized as well. But for today's call, we're going to be concentrating on this particular area here, which is Access Messaging Studio. So what you will find within the platform when you log in is that even if you don't have your own templates, you will have 4 pre-designed templates courtesy of our design team, all of which when you go in are fully customizable. For today's call, we're going to create a new template and you'll find 3 options present themselves. You have text, which can be enhanced with web links and PDF attachments. You can use option 2 to enhance with image or video. In the purpose of today's call, we're going to be looking at rich cards, which are RCS and SMS landing pages. So again, really user-friendly, really simple to use. We can add content in 1, 2, or 3 column blocks. We can go into those. We can either add an image or a text. Our text has a palette, a default palette of 5 colors, and we can select varying different sizes and various different weights. If we want to change the text color, quite simply, we'll go into the style, and then we can select from a full range of palette. One of the things I really enjoy is making the fonts really stand out. So one of the things you may decide to explore is changing that background page color to a darker color and using white fonts to really get your branding and really get your imaging to be really vibrant and come across really well on the handsets. Other areas to make note of is you have spacers. So quite simply, we add a spacer. Again, we can select various different sizes. If you want to move up or move down or remove a block, again, really simple, really straightforward to achieve. We have settings, which is a really important page here. Don't forget this one. One of the main benefits with this is that for enabled devices, if you do incorporate any personalized branding and it's enabled on the handset, you will be able to see the branding and the logo within the native messaging app before you click through. And again, the page title and web preview that goes alongside that. Other point to make you aware of, page padding. So this takes away from the width of the page, so small, medium, and large, and item spacing. So again, smaller spacing, larger spacing, again, personal preference. Throughout all of this, what you'll be able to see is by switching to preview, you will actually be able to see what that looks like on the recipient's device. However, until these blocks are all populated, you won't be able to see that. So for the purpose of this, you won't see it in this particular example, but you will do shortly. Now, the real strong point that we want to achieve with this for getting across all our great branding, all our great visuals, all our great information about what we're doing, we really want to start directing that customer journey onto the next stage. And this is where these call to action buttons really come into play. So what we can do, we can add customer links, which can be used to steer to various online locations. We can add the telephone number. We can add an SMS number, which can incorporate your virtual mobile number. Great for encouraging SMS chat, and we'll come on to that in a moment in the example I'll deliver later. And we also have customer email. And again, as you can see, varying different levels of text color, background colors, and border colors. Onto other blocks, add to calendar. Most important thing when we're pushing an offer, we don't want anyone to forget. So by quite simply adding a calendar reminder in there, that will store to the local handset, and the recipient then will have a reminder pop on the phone. And if there is the requirement to steer your customers to a particular location, click the location button and that will integrate with Google Maps. And you can have 4 call to action buttons within that example, all of which provide live, real, in-depth analytics. Great for seeing which customers have clicked through and used the call to action buttons. Now we have recorded an example of a landing page which we created yesterday. I'm just going to pass over to Adam just to give you a bit more insight into that one. Over to you, Adam.
Yeah, the video is just playing now.
Right, so we're going to create a new template. So you've got 3 options. Option 1 can add web links and PDFs. Option 2, image and video. And option 3 is RCS messaging and SMS landing pages. So for me, this is all about driving brand awareness. So what we're going to do, we're going to add a 1-column block and really get our branding visually to stand out. As you'll see from here, you can also incorporate GIFs. Another great way to really get a great visual representation of our branding. Look at that, Esendex fashion really stands out. The second most important part is what message are we trying to get across. So of course the reason why we're all here today is Black Friday, and I really like the way that GIF stands out. So we're going to have another GIF underneath, image, and drag that across. And let's just have a quick look at that. Now, the thing that I'm always conscious of is you can have too much of a good thing. So really what I want to do now, I want to start toning this Esendex fashion down and bring it more in line with the branding of the Black Friday offer. So what we're going to do is we're just going to tone this down a little bit, drop in our Esendex Black Friday logo. Okay. Right, next most important part, who we're looking to communicate with, what offer are we looking to get across, and that of course is our customers. So we're going to add another block, but we're going to go for text. So a really great part of this is the ability to incorporate dynamic data, and you can incorporate as few or as many as you like. We have recruitment partners that use in excess of a dozen fields of dynamic data. Quite simply for this, we just want to incorporate the recipient's name, make it personalized, make it more likely that they're going to engage. And the offer itself, come online, let's see our biggest discounts. Okay. Next, I'd like to get some visual representation of our product. So I'm going to break that down a little bit. So I'm going to go for a 2-column block. Again, a couple of options I could go for. Could go for a GIF. So let's have a look at a GIF. Let's go our women's collection, and then our men's. Let's have a look. Again, I'm going to tone this down a little bit. So I'm just going to go for and that's not the only part to our collection. So we're going to add our kids range, because Esendex are all about offering a USP and standing out from the crowd. Our animal range as well. Okay. Right, next thing that I want to do, just add a little bit more personalization. So we're going to add another block. I'm going to go for text. We must be mad. Everything's got to go. What I'd like to do, I'd like to bring that a bit more into the action. So we're going to go down here. We don't want to delete it. We're going to add it into the row above. Perfect. And of course, not only do we want great prices, we want to launch it with a little bit of a promo. So we've got another block in there. Free shipping. with code SHIP free. Let's have a look at that. Brilliant. Right, next thing, really want to start pulling all this together. So we're going to go over into the style. We'll take this dark in line with our Black Friday theme. I want to get the wording to stand out. Let's go for a gold. There we go. Go to item properties. Gold. Gold. And gold. Fantastic. And I just want to pull all this together, so I'm going to get rid of the item spacing. I'm going to go none. Bring all that together. Next thing, I just want to block that off. So the spacer, okay, for small. And another great opportunity to get your branding out there. What you'll find with a number of handsets now is that when they do receive an SMS message, you will get an opportunity to incorporate a web preview. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this branding in here. And of course, our brand name, Esendex and Esendex. Now, of course, we've created the customer journey within the message itself. The next thing is we want to direct that customer journey onto the next stage. The most important thing is we get them visiting our website. So we're going to add a call to action button. And we'll go Black Friday sale. Of course, what we need our URL. So let's pop in our Esendex website. And what you'll notice, as soon as that goes in and that's got a live URL, this will populate over here. So what we need to do now, we just need to add our text color. And I'm quite happy with that. It's in line with the other weights, as you can see. Okay, for a mid weight there. The next thing for me that's really important is let's make sure all our customers know about this. So let's add another block. Add a calendar. There we go, sale open. Sale open. Black Friday offer, let's go open. It's going to go fixed date and time. We're going to go 27th, and our offer is going to start at 7 o'clock. And the big offers will run through until midnight. I'm going to go there. Now, the other thing to take into account, if we are selling all this additional stock, there could well be a chance that we're going to see a few extra returns coming back. So what we're going to do, we're going to help the internal team. We're going to help them manage multiple conversations at any given time. And we're also going to make it easier for our customers to converse. And by doing that, we're going to add another block and another link. And we're going to use this option here, SMS. And what we're going to do, we're going to integrate our virtual mobile number. We're going to use the SMS chat platform to manage that with the customer services team. So we're going to go SMS. We're going to go our number 44798 44432 31. Perfect. I'm going to go SMS chat. And we're going to go gold. Perfect. So we've got our branding, we've got the offer, we've got our dynamic field, we've got our images, our offer code, directing our customers to our website, which is what this is all about, telling them all that the sale's open, and helping support them and their internal team if they need to make a return. Next part of the journey, let's give it a name. So Esendex Black Friday. Campaign report is going to be available for 12 months. Our personalised branding in the URL, so I'm going to go Esendex. And again, we're going to use another dynamic field, name, close it off, come see our Black Friday spectacular. How long will the campaign be available for the recipients to review? Well, do you know what? We're going to run this for a month, so let's go 30 days. And of course, sender ID is going to be our branding, so Esendex. I'm going to go save and send. Now, what I will be doing shortly is I will be sending everyone on the call a copy of this who is given a valid email address, a valid mobile number. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to run through very quickly. So you've got two options. You've got upload recipients, and you can incorporate a CSV, XLS, or XLSX file, which can be up to 50,000 unique customers and as many dynamic fields as you like. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to be sending to myself. I'm going to enter that manually, and the variable is going to be my name. And next, send this Black Friday, send now, ID, landing page expiry, the URL, and the data expiry. Finally, we get to see our message on screen. Total number of recipients 1. Let's send that. Now, just the last thing just to very quickly point out is the campaign information. So here's a campaign that I ran a little earlier. Let's download that report. Just pull that across. So as I mentioned, all those click-throughs are going to be managed in real time. So we have the telephone number that it was sent to, it was delivered via SMS, the time it was submitted, when it was delivered, has the rich content been reviewed, what time was it reviewed, sorry, how many times did someone click through to that landing page, and whether they click through on the SMS chat, the sale open, and the Black Friday call to action button. And this is a really great way to ensure that moving forward, you can be a lot more targeted in the way that you approach your campaigns. You can ensure that you are communicating particular offers with those that are most likely to engage. But hopefully that's given you some great insight into the platform. Appreciate it's quite a quick overview, but it really is very simple once you've had the opportunity to play around with it. And we look forward to taking on any questions that you may have.
Thank you there, Alex. It was a really, really good demo, and hopefully everyone got a lot out of that and saw how just how easy it was to create a really powerful and strong looking landing page that can take those text communications and really enhance it. Critical time for retailers, so no, excellent work there. So just to wrap up, we'll have a few questions, and thanks to everybody who's sent a couple in there. I think we've just having a look at them now. We've got a couple in there. I think first one that's come through is I normally send automated SMS campaigns. Can the Studio product be automated as well? So I think I'll take this one, Alex.
Okay.
Yes, the campaigns can be automated. If you're a customer that has integrated our API, then you may be familiar with our developers website. We have a new rich content API that will be used for all of those cool stuff that I mentioned earlier, your WhatsApps, RCS, etc. But that's the place where you can look to integrate and send these Studio campaigns out via that. We also have professional services who can do file-based automation, so you have all the same options that you would if you were sending out regular SMS campaigns. Obviously, you'd still need to use the Studio platform to create the content, but once you've done that, to send out those actual campaigns, that'd be really useful. Another one that's come in, I think you briefly touched on it there, Alex, but do you know if a customer has clicked the links and buttons?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question that as well. So it is really about enhancing that reporting for you as well. We fully appreciate that this is potentially a revenue stream that you're reaching out to, and it's really important that you can see which customers are engaging. So absolutely, as you saw from the report at the end there, you can click through, see how many times an individual's clicked through to the landing page, so you can see those recipients that are most engaged and tailor future communications around that. And also the ones that are clicking through to the website or clicking through your various call to action buttons. Again, as soon as someone clicks through, you will get a date and time stamp. So click that reporting. You can make that accessible for up to 12 months after the campaign has taken place, and very easily have that information at your fingertips. So great question there.
Brilliant, thank you, Alex. I think time for one more, and we'll go with this one. So somebody's asked, can you personalize the URL that you sent in the text message to prevent phishing scares? So quite an important topic there. I think, you know, during the lockdown, there's been, unfortunately, some rogues out there trying to capitalize on that, and I've seen all kinds of different ones in the press. But the great thing about the Studio platform is that you have the ability to utilize your own URL. So, you know, the links that you'd have for your own website, we can tie into that via SSL certificate. So it's just a little bit more of an in-depth technical conversation that we'd need to have with you, but ultimately you can embed these landing pages into your own URLs to give your consumers a lot more trust. And you know, if they're used to seeing links coming via a certain format, then we can continue to do that for it. So yeah, absolutely, all good on that. Really good question. So I think, apologies, we've run over slightly there. So thanks to everyone for having a little bit of extra patience and staying on, and thank you all for joining the masterclass. As Alex mentioned, for those who submitted a mobile number on registration, you will get that example that he created sent over to you today, so you can see it on your phone and see, click through, etc. But you know, if you need more information on the Studio platform, on planning Black Friday campaigns, have any more questions, etc., then you know, by all means reach out to your account manager. Or if you email sales at Esendex, if you're not yet an Esendex customer, then one of the team will be very happy to speak with you and tell you more about it. So, you know, once again, thank you everyone for your time today and for joining this masterclass. And we hope to see you in person soon, and certainly speak with you and hear about how you've utilised the landing page product.